Ma'am Kavita Deha, SCS, Additional District Commissioner and in charge Education Department, Kokrajhar. I request ma'am to please stand up and I request Sir Principal to please felicitate her with a bouquet, memento and RO9. I would like to request ma'am to please come in front of the stage and take her seat. Now, I would like to introduce our jury members. First, we have Sujit Purpolo Kumar Hazwari, former commissioner and secretary and former member APSC. I would like to request our volunteers to please felicitate sir. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Digambar Narzary, Director, Nidan Foundation, Kokrajhar. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Ramtanu Narzary, representative of Honorable Cabinet Minister, Assam. We also have our principal sir of Kokrajhar Government College. I would like to request our volunteers to please felicitate sir. I would also like to request sir to please come on the dais and take your seat. Now we will have a lighting of the lamp. I request our main chief guest and all the jury members to please come in front and light the candle. I would also like to request Principal Sir to please help them and also our PO Sir Dansarang Bosmadari to please help them. Thank you, sir. Madam, I would like to request Sir Prafullo Kumar Hazwari to please come on the dais and take his seat. Also, I would like to request Dr. Digambar Narzary to please follow him. And also, Sir Dr. Ramtanu Narzary to please follow Sir. Now let's step forward. We have welcome address by Mr. Dantaram Basumatari. Member Secretary, Organizing Committee, come NSS PO, Kokrajhar Government College, Kokrajhar. I request sir to please come and give his welcome address.
Good morning to one and all. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to stand before you today and extend a warm welcome to you all to the district level Vikshit Bharat Youth Parliament Speech Competition 2025, organized here today at Kokrajhar Government College, Kokrajhar. This platform serves as a beacon for nurturing the ideas, opinions, and aspirations of our dynamic youth, empowering them to engage in a meaningful dialogue and become catalysts of positive changes future. One nation, one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. The topic of today's competition is not just a topic, but a vision that envisions a more unified, efficient, and progressive democratic process. It calls upon us to explore how synchronizing elections can lead to reduced expenditures, strengthen governance, and enhance political stability, which is essential ingredients for building a developed and self-reliant India. We are extremely delighted and honored to have amongst us Madam Kavita Dekha, SCS, Additional District Commissioner and in charge, Education Department of Kokrajhar District, as our chief guest. I heartily welcome Madam to this event. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude and welcome to Dr. Dimasa Devram Musahari, Principal Sir, Kokrajhar Government College, Kokrajhar. Sir, your constant support and encouragement have been instrumental in making this event possible. Also, a special mention to our jury members who have graciously accepted our invitation to evaluate and encourage the young talents gathered here today. Your presence adds immense value to this platform, ensuring that the voices of our youths are heard, acknowledged, and appreciated. To the youth participants from Kokrajhar, Chirang, and Dhubri districts, I extend a warm and enthusiastic welcome to you all. Your presence here is a testimony to your zeal and commitment towards contribution to the nation building. This competition is not just about presenting ideas, but also about reflecting on how we as a responsible citizens can contribute to a prosperous and developed India. Viksit Bharat is a dream that can be realized only when the youth of the nation come together with innovative ideas, critical thinking, and unwavering dedication. Today's platform provides you with an opportunity to express your perspectives on electoral reforms and democratic governance, paving the way for a most robust and inclusive democracy. As we embark on this exciting journey of ideas and intellectual discourse, I encourage each and every one of you to participate wholeheartedly and make this opportunity the most. Let us engage, debate, and explore solutions that will lead us towards a stronger mind, unified, and developed India. Once again, I welcome each and every one of you and wish all the participants the very best for a fruitful and enriching session ahead. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Moving next, we have an address by Dr. Dimasa Devram Musahari, sir, Principal, Kokrajhar Government College, Kokrajhar. I request sir to please come and take your time.
Good morning to all. Honorable Chief Guest, Mrs. Kavita Dekha, ADC Kokrajhar and DCIC. Esteemed jury members, Mr. P.K. Hazari, former Commissioner and Secretary, Government of Assam. Dr. Ramdino Ramdhanu Brahma, nominee of Sejit UC Brahma, the Cabinet Minister of Assam. Mr. Digambar Narzary, if leaded, and you remember Dr. Mamata Narzary, academician, distinguished guests, and our faculty members and enthusiastic participants, and my other students present here. So, this is a great honor, and I feel this to honor you on this today's occasion of Vikshit Bharat Youth Parliament, which is being organized by Kolkata Government College as Nodal Institute for the three districts, Kokrajhar district, Siram district, and our Rufi district. So, dear participants, you have already participated in the screening test by uploading a video of 1 minute. Speaking about your idea on Vikshit Bharat, and you will know about this Vikshit Bharat in a very better way. So, so the government of India, we the Indians envision that by the year 2047, India should be seen as a developed nation like other developed nations of the world. So for that purpose, you see our target is 2047. That means exactly 100 years after the independence of India. And up to this 2047, so there are still remaining some 22 years. And during these 22 years of period, we have to create a vibrant generation which can realize this vision of transforming India into a developed nation like other developed nations of the world. So for that purpose, since we have to create a vibrant generation, now this responsibility will be lying on you. And for that purpose, we have to first carry on many these types of this discussion, meaningful discussion, constructive discussions. And this is our sometimes debate also, constructive debate also, so that we can exchange our views and come to a conclusion and just choose the right path in order to transform India into a developed nation. So that's why we dispute this Vikshit Bharat Youth Parliament has been organized by Kolkata Government College under the aegis of the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, Central Government. So I hope, I expect all the students will perform their best, present their best in this not competition exactly. This is not an event where you will be competing only, but you will be exchanging your ideas only. So already you have been fixed team, that is one nation, one election. So either your view may be in favor, your view may be in the opposite also. Whatever that may be. But it should be presented in and it is a constructive way. So through this, your presentation, definitely you will come to know, you will be exchanging your ideas about this topic, one nation, one election, how it would be. What are the merits? What are the demerits? And from this now, we have to come to a conclusion and then we have to apply in the field where we have got the responsibility of transforming India into a developed nation by the year 2047. So I encourage all participants to make the most of this opportunity because you see, you have got this opportunity to showcase your talent, showcase your leadership quality. Okay, so that not only you are going to shoulder the responsibility of leading the new generation tomorrow, but you should become the changer also. Okay, something like that is what we call. So that's why. So let your ideas reflect innovation and determination. This is your moment to showcase your leadership potential. As we move forward, let us pledge to remain steadfast in our commitment to national building and work collectively to shape an India that exemplifies unity, harmony, and progress. I once again extend my best wishes to all the participants and hope that this youth parliament will inspire each one of you become responsible and visionary citizens of our great nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have another jury member. We have another jury member with us, Dr. Narzary, HOD of Political Science, Kokrajar Government College, Kokrajar. I request our volunteers to please felicitate her. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have an inaugural address by our chief guest, Ma'am Kavita Deka, SCS, Additional District Commissioner and in charge, Education Department, Kokrajhar. I request ma'am to please come and give an inaugural address.
নমস্কাৰ ইয়াত উপস্থিত থকা কোকৰাঝাৰ গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট কলেজৰ প্ৰিন্সিপাল মহোদয় সন্মানীয় হাজোৱাৰী ছাৰ আৰু লগতে অন্যান্য জুৰি মেম্বাৰসমূহ আৰু মৰমৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীসকল আমাৰ প্ৰিন্সিপাল ছাৰে ইতিমধ্যে আপোনালোকক কৈছে ইয়াতে আমি আহি কিয় উপস্থিত হৈছোঁ আৰু আপোনালোকক কিয় সিলেক্ট কৰা হৈছে যে একোখন শিক্ষানুষ্ঠানৰ কি কাম হয় একোখন শিক্ষানুষ্ঠানে একোজন ব্যক্তি তৈয়াৰ কৰে আৰু সেই ব্যক্তিৰ সমষ্টিসমূহে লগ হৈ একোখন ৰাষ্ট্ৰ তৈয়াৰ হয় গতিকে যেতিয়া আমাৰ লক্ষ্য হৈছে যে 2047ত Vikshit Bharat, আমি Vikshit Bharat বুলি কয় যে হিন্দী ৱৰ্ড সেইকাৰণে Vikshit ক'লে হয়তো মানে মিনিংটো হয় একচুৱেলি অসমীয়াত ক'ব গ'লে এইটো বিকশিত ডেভেলপ বিকশিত ভাৰত যে Vikshit ভাৰতৰ আমাৰ যদি 2047ত আমি যদি ভাৰতখন আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়া যদি সেলফ ৰিলায়েন্ট বা সকলো ফালৰ পৰা ডেভেলপ হ'ব ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰৰ পৰা টেকনলজিৰ পৰা সকলো ফালৰ পৰা যদি ডেভেলপ হ'ব লাগে তেতিয়াহ'লে কি হ'ব লাগিব যে এতিয়াৰ যিখিনি আমাৰ ষ্টুডেণ্ট সেই সকলোখিনি সেই সময়লৈকে একোজন প্ৰাপ্তবয়স্ক ব্যক্তি হ'ব সমাজত তেখেতসকলো সমানেই ডেভেলপ হ'ব লাগিব আৰু আমাৰ আজিৰ টপিকটো কি হৈছে যে ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন আপোনালোকে জানে যে ইলেকশ্যন এটা প্ৰচিডিউৰ যে বছৰে বছৰে আমি বিভিন্ন সময়ত পঞ্চায়ত ইলেকশ্যনৰ পৰা আদি কৰি একেবাৰে পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টাৰী ইলেকশ্যনলৈকে বিভিন্ন সময়ত আপোনালোকে যদিও ষ্টুডেণ্টসকলে আপোনালোকে যদিও ইলেকশ্যন প্ৰচিডিউৰত এতিয়ালৈকে পাৰ্টিচিপেট কৰা নাই বা ভোটাৰ হিচাপে হয়তো আপোনালোকে আছে কিছুমান কিন্তু ইলেকশ্যন প্ৰচিডিউৰ যিখিনি অফিচিয়েলি কাম হয় সেইখিনিত আপোনালোকে পাৰ্টিচিপেট কৰা নাই কিন্তু যেতিয়া দেখে যে প্ৰত্যেক বছৰে আমাৰ বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ ইলেকশ্যন হৈ থাকে যোৱা বছৰ আমাৰ কি হ'ল পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টাৰী ইলেকশ্যন এই বছৰ হ'ব আমাৰ পঞ্চায়ত ইলেকশ্যন বা বিটিচিৰ হ'লে বিটিচি ইলেকশ্যন নেক্সট ইয়াৰ আকৌ এছেম্বলি ইলেকশ্যন গতিকে ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনৰ যিটো ধাৰণা সেই ধাৰণাটোৰ বিষয়ে আপোনালোকৰ কিছুমানে হয়তো সপক্ষে ক'ব কিছুমানে বিপক্ষে ক'ব আৰু সেইটোৰ পৰা আমি এটা খুব ধুনীয়া কনষ্ট্ৰাকটিভ এটা আইডিয়া ল'ব পাৰিম যে ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন হ'লে কি হ'ব ভাল হ'ব নে বেয়া হ'ব সেই বিষয়ে আপোনালোকে ক'ব আপোনালোকে হয়তো ইতিমধ্যে টপিকটো পাইছে আকৌ প্ৰিপেয়াৰ হৈও আহিছে আৰু 2047লৈ আপোনালোকে একোজন প্ৰাপ্তবয়স্ক আজি যিটো মক পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্ট বা ইউথ পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টত আপোনালোকে আজি হয়তো এক্টিং বা আপোনালোকে হেৰি কৰিব কিন্তু অদূৰ ভৱিষ্যতে আপোনালোকৰ মাজৰ পৰা লিডাৰ ওলাব আৰু সেই লিডাৰসমূহে একচুৱেলি সঁচাকৈ এছেম্বলি বা পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টত গৈ আপোনালোকে নিজে একোজন স্পীকাৰ হ'ব বা একোজন পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্টৰ মেম্বাৰ হ'ব পাৰে গতিকে সেই লক্ষ্য ৰাখি আমি বিভিন্ন আজি আমাৰ জ'নেল লেভেলত ইয়াতে কোকৰাঝাৰ ধুবুৰী আৰু চিৰাঙৰ পাৰ্টিচিপেণ্ট আছে অহাকালিও হ'ব তেনেদৰে গোটেই বিভিন্ন কলেজ বা বিভিন্ন ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট লগ লাগি একতা জ'নেল লেভেলত পাতি আছে আৰু আপোনালোকক মই সকলোকে আদৰণি জনাইছোঁ আমাৰ ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টত যিখিনি বাহিৰৰ পৰা আমাৰ নিজৰ ষ্টুডেণ্টখিনিৰ বাহিৰেও যি চিৰাং আৰু ধুবুৰীৰ পৰা আহিছে তেওঁলোকক আদৰণি জনাইছোঁ আপোনালোকে আজি যিটো আমাৰ ছেশ্যন খুব ধুনীয়াকৈ আপোনালোকে পাৰ্টিচিপেট কৰক আৰু এই ছেশ্যনটো যাতে ফ্ৰুটফুল হয় সেইকাৰণে মই সকলোকে ৰিকুৱেষ্ট কৰিলোঁ আৰু মই মোৰ চকুৰ বক্তব্য সামৰিলোঁ ধন্যবাদ
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have come to an end of our inaugural session. Before that, we have word of thanks by Milton Brahma, NSS volunteer, Kokrajar Government College, Kokrajar. I request him to please come over the dais and give his words of thanks.
Good morning, one and all. Respected guests, distinguished jury members, our honorable principal sir, faculty members, dear participants, and everyone present here. It is with great privilege and honor that I am standing in front of you to express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of Kokrajhar Government College, the organizing committee of the Vikshit Bharat Youth Parliament 2025. First and foremost, I extend my sincere thanks to our chief guest, Madam Kopita Dekha, ACS Additional District Commissioner and in charge Education Department, Kokrajhar, for taking time from her busy schedule to grace this occasion. Your inspiring words have truly set the tone for this event, and we are grateful for your presence and encouragement. A special note of appreciation to our Principal Dr. Jim Narzary sir for his continuous support and guidance in making this event a reality. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished jury members who will be evaluating the speech competition and contributing their valuable insights. Your expertise is valuable in shaping this platform for meaningful discussion. A big thank you to Mr. Dansarang Bosumutari, Member Secretary of the Organizing Committee and NSS Program Officer for his tireless efforts in organizing this event and for his unwavering dedication to youth development. To my fellow students, youth participants and volunteers, your enthusiasm and commitment are what make this youth parliament truly vibrant. Thank you for your active participation and contributing to the vision of Vikshit Bharat. Lastly, I extend my gratitude to everyone who has contributed directly or indirectly to the success of this program. Your efforts, big or small, have made today possible. With that, I conclude my words. Thank you, and let's continue to engage in the meaningful discussion to shape a brighter future of our nation. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Milton Brahma. I request everyone to not go anywhere and be seated on your place. We will continue with our today's main gathering, which is speech competition. Before that, I would like to request the jury members to take their seats. There is a seat in...
And if any, kindly try to justify. That is the point. Nothing more, don't try to be emotional. Emotional issues should not be brought here. Straight come here. Have a good morning if you like. Then start your speech. There will be no address, no dear sir. Just start speaking. Offer good morning, that's enough. Okay? Have a good luck.
Thank you, sir. Now we will start with our speech competition. We will start from contestant number 1. Who is Abhijit Roy? Is Abhijit Roy present? Next we have Akanksha Viswas. Number 3 we have Anamika Brahma. After her, Anjali Basmatari. I request her to be please ready. Now I request Anamika Brahma to come and start with her speech.
Volunteers.
Good morning everyone. My name is Anamika Brahma. One nation, one election is more than one nation, one election is more than simply a political concept. It is a strategic move toward a Vikshit Bharat or Develop India. Imagine a country whose government is not continuously disrupted by elections cycle that is sufficient. Consider the resources we waste on frequent elections. The three cost, the people, the frequent, the logistics are enormous. By consolidating these elections, we free up these resources by develop the infrastructure and education and healthcare. Then our society require. We are talking about actual development. But this is not a theoretical exercise. The 129 Constitutional Amendment Bill represents in conclusion, one nation, one election is a bold step, but thank you.
Next we have Anjali Basmatari, which will be followed by Ankita Gwala.
Good morning to one and all present over here, respected judges, esteemed guests, and my dear friends. I contested number 4, Anjali Basmatari, currently studying in Kokrajhar Government College from Kokrajhar, Assam, stand before you all to speak on a visionary concept, one nation, one election. This concept involves holding simultaneous elections for Lok Sabha and state assemblies across India together. By doing so, we can reduce election costs, minimize disruptions in governments. According to my visions and thoughts,
Some benefits of one nation, one election are conducting a multiple election costs a lot of money. So, by holding them together, or we can say by conducting a single election, will help them reduce this burden. Less disruptions in governments. Government can function smoothly without any disturbance from election-related work. Reduce political polarization, that is, continuous election may lead to a political conflicts and it will lead people in a division among themselves. So, if we conduct a single election, then it will help them to reduce this problem. One nation, one election is not just an administrative reform, but it is a step to take forward for a democracy, India, to develop our country. At last, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that let us embrace these visions and concepts so that our democracy country can work efficiently. Thank you.
Now we have Ankita Gwala. Next, we will have Anushaya Brahma. Democracy is not just about voting, it's about an efficient governance. These words by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi truly captures the essence of today's discussion, One Nation, One Election. A very good morning to the esteemed judges, respected audience and my fellow participants. My name is Ankita Gwala and I am from Kokrajhar, Assam. It is an honor to stand here today before you and share my thoughts on the topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. The One Nation, One Election Bill is a proposal to synchronize all elections in India. India, the largest democratic nation, witnesses elections almost every few months. While elections are the foundations of a democratic country, it comes with a great cost, financially, administratively, and in terms of governance. This is where the idea of one nation, one election emerges as a game changer, ensuring stability, efficiency, and a rapid development, and ensuring with our vision of Vikshit Bharat, meaning a developed India. One of the major drawbacks of frequent elections is that it comes with a huge financial burden. The 2019 Lok Sabha elections alone cost rupees 60,000 crores, and when we include multiple state elections, this figure escalates further. So the One Nation, One Election Bill is a better reform for our country. Moreover, elections require millions of police, paramilitary forces and government officials affecting regular governance. However, there are some challenges as well, such as constitutional amendments are required and political consensus must be reached. So with synchronized elections, our government will have an uninterrupted and clear 5-year term to focus on development. In conclusion, one nation, one election is not just a political reform, but it is a step towards a more stable, efficient and democratic India. As Abraham Lincoln once said, the ballot is stronger than the bullet. But should we conduct ballots every few months, or should we focus on developing our country and counting each and every vote? I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you. Now we have Anushaya Brahma, which will be followed by Arlene Basmatari.
Good morning, everyone, respected Principal Sir, and honorable dignitaries, guests, as well as jury members present here. Today, I, contestant number 8, Anushaya Brahma, representing Kokrajhar district of Assam, is standing here to deliver a speech on the topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. First of all, what is One Nation, One Election? One nation, one election refers to simultaneous elections for the central, state as well as local bodies in a single cycle. This means that all the elections across India, elections to the Lok Sabha as well as state legislative assemblies would be held in the same time once in every 5 years. Instead of the current electoral system where the elections across India is held at different times. The concept of one nation, one election is deemed to be a path or the way to achieve Vikshit Bharat. This is because of the various reasons. First is cost effective. The current electoral system is very costly and expensive, but the simultaneous elections are cost effective. This means that it will save time, resource, as well as the taxpayers' money. This tax money can be used for the developmental projects, which is very essential for the welfare and socio-economic growth of the nation. Second, better governance. The simultaneous elections or the policy of one nation, one election is very important for the purpose of better governance. It do not divert the attention of the ministers of the government to perform their proper administrative responsibilities and duties. Third is national unity or integrity. The concept of one nation, one election strengthens unity across India. It reduces political fragmentation as well as encourages cooperation, coordination between the central government and state government.
Good morning to each and everyone present here. Respected jury members, esteemed faculty of Kokrajhar Government College, respected teachers, my dear seniors, juniors, friends, and each and everyone present here. My name is Arlene Basmatari, and I am contestant number 9. I stand here to give a short speech about a reform that can transform India into democracy. So, with a short speech, I would like you to know what is one nation, one election. One nation, one election is a proposal under consideration by the government of India. One nation, one election is the government of India to synchronize all elections in the country either on a specific time or either on a single day or within a specific time. One of its most notable proposals is to conduct simultaneously elections and state legislative assemblies of all 28 states and 8 union territories. One nation, one election is not just a reform. It is a step towards a stronger, more stable democracy. It will help reduce wastage of resources, ensure continuous development, and allow leaders to work with a long-term vision for the country. So let us come together to support these ideas and work towards a governance system that prioritizes progress over politics. So with this, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Now we have Biman Mushahare, which will be followed by Bitan Borgoyare.
Good morning to everyone, respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. So, the idea of one nation and one election is a bold and transformative step toward a Vikshit Bharat. It advocates for the simultaneous conduct of elections at the state, local, and national levels. Yes, allowing them to a single electrical cycle. So, by conducting elections together, we can ensure focused and thank you.
Now we have Bitan Borgoyare, who will be followed by Basan Goyare.
Participants, all the participants, attention please. You are requested to step up. Because your face expression, your body language, your face expression, verbal communication, all this will be judged.
Good morning everyone. I stand here to share my insights on One Nation, One Election paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. So in simple words, One Nation, One Election proposes that all the elections in India should be held at the same time, location, place once every 5 years. So you see, conducting multiple elections at different places and at different timings gets very expensive. So this is where the one nation concept comes in. By this concept, all the cost expenses of all elections in India will be reduced significantly. And sure, one nation, one election has its benefits, but also it has some challenges. But looking at the bigger and brighter side, I believe this one nation, one election will bring significant changes in India and promote stability, reduce expenses, and also in long term improve India. Thank you.
Now we have Basan Goyare, who will be followed by Chanda Mali.
Hello everyone, myself Basan Goyari, contestant number 16, and I am here to talk about One Nation, One Election. The government has envisioned a future where elections are held simultaneously across the country, bringing efficiency, stability, and progress. Currently, India, the world's largest democracy, seems to be in a perpetual election mode. Every few months, a state or another goes into elections and governance takes a back seat. The model code of conduct is imposed repeatedly, ensuring that crucial decisions are put on hold. With One Nation, One Election, these cycles of distractions will end. Imagine the relief. Our hardworking leaders won't have to campaign all year round. They can finally focus on governing. And the best part, the taxpayers who generously fund these elections will see their money being used for something more productive, like actual development. Additionally, this reform will make the democratic process smoother. Some say that aligning all elections will require constitutional amendments, political consensus, and logistical brilliance. But let's be honest, when both vision is there, execution can follow with proper training. In conclusion, One Nation, One Election is a visionary step towards a stable and developed India. It is a policy that promises to save resources, ensure uninterrupted governance, and strengthen democracy. It is a reform that will define the future of Vikshit Bharat. Thank you.
Now we will have Chanda Mali, followed by Chandrabati Basmatari.
धन्यो भारतो देशा धन्य भारत संस्कृति भारतीय जना धन्या धन्यास्माकं परंपरा. Today I stand before you not just as a student but as a concerned citizen of this great democracy. We take pride in being the part of this world's largest democracy, but we should ask ourselves, is our election system is truly effective? The idea of being one nation, one election is not just about convenience, it's about very future governance in India. Why do we need this reform? Elections are the backbone of our democracy. But in India, it happens almost every year in some parts of the country. This means government take a backseat because of the Model Code of Conduct (MCC), which puts policies on hold. Which puts policies on hold. Moreover, frequent election cost thousands of crore money, which could be used in infrastructures, healthcare, education, rather than repeatedly spending on elections. There is a lot of buzz about one nation, one election, but this is not happening for the first time in India. In 1951 to 1967, India follows the simultaneous election where the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies were the central and state elections held together. And India is not the first country who wants to bring this system. In Hungary, Poland and South Africa brings this system. To execute this in India, there is a high-level committee of 8 members whose chairman is our former president, Sri Ramnath Kovind, who worked within our constitution and work for what amendment should we make. There is a lots of benefit. Stronger government. They can focus on long-term policies. But if we conduct one nation, one election, then there is a lot of more fun for the public welfare. A single well-organized election can encourage more participants, reduce political polarization. My final thought: one nation, one election is not just about teaming the election together. It's about making our governance more effective, more accountable, and better and more focused on the public. The question is not whether the India is ready for this reform. The question is, can we afford not to be? I leave with this thought: if you truly believe in democracy, then also believe in making it stronger, smarter, and better for the Indian. Vote once, progress forever. Channing.
Now we will have Chandravati Basmatari, Musahari, followed by Dodere Musahari.
A very good morning to dear respected judges and all over present here. Today I am going to speech a topic on one nation, one election. It means to conduct the different election in the same time. We all know that India is the largest democratic country in the world, where there are so many political parties in our country, and where we often have to cast our vote for different elections like MP elections, MLA election. And in my opinion, one nation, one election, it will be helpful for the citizens of our nation, because every year the government spend lots of money to conduct or to arrange the election, where there are so many security and manpower is arranged to have the election. And suppose if we spend 1 crore for each election, like for the post like MLA, MP, Panchayat, Nagar Nigam, and if we conduct all the posts in one election, that is one nation, one election, then we can save around 4 crore money. And if we those money we can spend in the welfare nation, like welfare nation like education, hospitals, and like infrastructures of our nation, which will develop our nation. And during the days of election, so many police, so many paramilitary and some government employees like teachers have to arrange to conduct or to have the election. And so many schools and colleges are used for polling station during the election. Those days or in these times, so many students have faced problems, and their yearly syllabus are hampered. So at last, in my opinion, I think that one nation, one election is good for our citizen and good for our nation. Thank you.
Now we will have Dodere Musahari, who will be followed by Akanksha Vishwas.
Next participants, you are asked to come and get ready backstage. Those whose name will be called, you are asked to come and get ready backstage.
Good morning to everyone present here, as honorable guests and respected teachers, my dear friends, brothers and sisters. My name is Jim Narzary. আজি এই বিশেষ দিনটোত মই ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ এক দেশ এক নিৰ্বাচন এই পৰিকল্পনাই ভাৰতৰ গণতান্ত্ৰিক ব্যৱস্থাত এক নতুন দিশ আনিব পাৰে আৰু বিকশিত ভাৰত গঢ়ি তুলিবলৈ সহায় কৰিব পাৰে ভাৰত বিশ্বৰ সৰ্ববৃহৎ গণতন্ত্ৰ ইয়াত প্ৰায়ে প্ৰতি বছৰে কতো না কতো নিৰ্বাচন হৈয়ে থাকে যেনে লোকসভা বিধানসভা আৰু স্থানীয় নিৰ্বাচন এই নিৰ্বাচনবোৰে চৰকাৰৰ বহুতো কাম কাজত বাধাগ্ৰস্ত কৰিব পাৰে উন্নয়নমূলক কাম কাজ বিলম্বিত কৰে আৰু বৃহৎ অৰ্থনৈতিক ব্যয় সৃষ্টি কৰে এক দেশ এক নিৰ্বাচন এই পৰিকল্পনাই লোকসভা সকলো ৰাজ্যৰ বিধানসভাৰ নিৰ্বাচন একেলগে অনুষ্ঠিত কৰাৰ প্ৰস্তাৱ আগবঢ়াইছে ইয়াৰ বিভিন্ন সুবিধাসমূহ যেনে প্ৰায়ে নিৰ্বাচনৰ বাবে চৰকাৰৰ নীতি স্থগিত হৈ থাকে বেলেগ বেলেগ নিৰ্বাচনৰ বাবে বিনিয়োগ আৰু উন্নয়নমূলক কাম বিলম্বিত হৈ থাকে গতিকে একেলগে নিৰ্বাচন কৰিলে দেশৰ আৰ্থিক স্থিতি বৃদ্ধি পাব পাৰে এক দেশ এক ভাৰত কেৱল এটা ৰাজনৈতিক সংগঠনে নহয় ই এক শক্তিশালী একত্ৰিত আৰু উন্নত ভাৰতৰ দিশ আগুৱাই যোৱাৰ এক বৃহৎ পদক্ষেপ এই পৰিকল্পনাই বিকশিত ভাৰত দেশক বিকশিত পথত লৈ যাবলৈ আগুৱাই নিয়ে ধন্যবাদ
Now we have Akanksha Biswas. Serial number 2, who will be followed by Daisy Islari.
নমস্কাৰ মোৰ নাম আকাংক্ষা বিশ্বাস মই হাতীদৰা মহাবিদ্যালয়ৰ মুছলিম ছাত্ৰী আৰু আজি মোৰ সন্মুখত হৈ থকা টিচাৰসকলক মোৰ প্ৰণাম আৰু মোৰ ভাই ভণ্টিসকলক মৰম আৰু ভালপোৱা আজি মই ক'বলৈ ওলাইছোঁ ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন মানে এটা ৰাষ্ট্ৰত এটা নিৰ্বাচন আমাৰ ভাৰত চৰকাৰৰ যি প্ৰস্তুতি লৈছে ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনক লৈ সেইটো মই সমৰ্থন কৰিছোঁ আমাৰ ভাৰতৰ প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী শ্ৰীযুত নৰেন্দ্ৰ দামোদৰ দাস মোদীয়ে যি সপোন দেখিছে আমাৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰখনক লৈ ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন সেইটো ময়ো সমৰ্থন কৰোঁ এইটোৰ স্বীকৃতি পাইছিল 2024 চনৰ 17 ডিচেম্বৰ তাৰিখত ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনটো হ'লে দুটা পৰ্যায়ত নিৰ্বাচন হ'ব প্ৰথম পৰ্যায়ত হ'ব বিধানসভা আৰু লোকসভাৰ নিৰ্বাচন আৰু ইয়াৰ পিছত যিটো দ্বিতীয় পৰ্যায়ত যিটো নিৰ্বাচন হ'ব সেইটো হ'ব পঞ্চায়ত আৰু পৌৰসভাৰ নিৰ্বাচন আমালোকে যদি এটা নিৰ্বাচন কৰোঁতে কোটি কোটি টকা খৰচ কৰোঁ তেনেহ'লে আমালোকৰ আৰ্থিক বহুত ব্যয় হয় সেইকাৰণে আমালোকেও বিচাৰোঁ যে একেটা দিনতে সকলো ইলেকশ্যনবোৰ একেটা দিনতে হ'বলৈ বিচাৰিছোঁ ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনটো এইটো আমাৰ ভাৰতৰ কাৰণে প্ৰথমেই নহয় যেতিয়া আমাৰ ভাৰত স্বাধীন হৈছিল 1947 চনত সেই সময়তেও 1947 পৰা 1969 চনলৈকে আমালোকৰ ভাৰতত ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন নীতিটো চলি আছিল কিন্তু 1969 চনত বিধানসভাৰ সমবেংগ ভংগ হৈ 1970 চনত ৰেজুলেশ্যনছ পাৰ্লিয়ামেণ্ট হয় আৰু 1971 চনত আকৌ বিধানসভাৰ নিৰ্বাচন অনুষ্ঠিত কৰা হয় ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনক লৈ মই কেইটামান যুক্তি ধৰিব বিচাৰিছোঁ মোৰ মতে ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন হ'লে টু কষ্ট কণ্ডাক্ট আমালোকৰ ধন সংগ্ৰহ হ'ব 2019 চনত যিটো লোকসভাৰ নিৰ্বাচন হৈছিল সেইটোত আমালোকৰ প্ৰায় 19,000 কোটি টকাৰ ব্যয় হৈছিল খৰচ হৈছিল আৰু প্ৰতি বছৰেই আমালোকৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰখনত 28খন ৰাজ্য আছে সেই 28খন ৰাজ্যত প্ৰতি বছৰে 5-6টা ৰাজ্যত নিৰ্বাচন হৈয়ে থাকে তেনেহ'লে আমালোকৰ কিমান ধনৰ ব্যয় হয় তাৰ পিছত দ্বিতীয় যুক্তিটো হৈছে মডেল কোড অফ কণ্ডাক্ট মডেল কোড অফ কণ্ডাক্ট হ'লে আমালোকৰ যেতিয়া নিৰ্বাচনটো আৰম্ভ হয় তেতিয়া মডেল কোড অফ কণ্ডাক্টটো অৱলম্বন কৰিলে আমালোকৰ গভৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ যিবিলাক কাম কাজ আছে ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমাৰ ৰাজ্যবিলাকত সেই সকলো কাম কাজবোৰ বন্ধ হৈ যায় আৰু আমাৰ ৰাজ্যবিলাকৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত সমস্যা দেখা দিয়ে তৃতীয় যুক্তিটো হৈছে কনসোলিডেশন এমেন্ডমেন্ট নিডেড ভাৰতবৰ্ষত যদি ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যন নীতি অৱলম্বন কৰা হয় তেনেহ'লে ভাৰতৰ সংবিধানৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত সংবিধান আৰ্টিকল নাম্বাৰ 83 আৰু 172 সংশোধন কৰিব লাগিব আৰু ময়ো এজন যুৱ হৈ ময়ো ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনটো সমৰ্থন কৰোঁ কিয়নো ওৱান নেশ্যন ওৱান ইলেকশ্যনটো হ'লে আমাৰ অৰ্থনৈতিক ফালৰ পৰা উন্নতি হ'ম ৰাজনৈতিক ফালৰ পৰা উন্নতি হ'ম সামাজিক ফালৰ পৰা উন্নতি হ'ম ধন্যবাদ
Now we will have Daisy Islari, followed by Dipjyoti Brahma.
Namaste, Namaskar, Khulumbai. My warm greeting to all our respected judges, jury, and our respected teachers and everyone present here. Myself, Daisy Islari. I am from district Kokrachhar. My northern district is Kokrachhar. I am currently studying in 6th semester and pursuing my BSc Honours in Zoology in Kokrachhar Government College, Kokrachhar. Today I am very grateful to have this opportunity to stand here and express my thoughts on one of the government's proposal, One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. As we know, One Nation, One Election means synchronizing of all the election together, or we can simply say conducting of election of Lok Sabha election and state level elections all together once in 5 years. We can say that it was not a newly formed proposal by the government, as it was already been there in our nation from 1957 to 1967. But due to some of the governmental political issues, it has been dissolution by the nation and erupted by the nation. Now our government has decided to make it's a new way to to synchronize all the election in our nation. In my opinion, by conducting our election all together can help in reducing the financial growth, economic growth, by which our politicians can focus more on national issues like building infrastructures like huge buildings, school, colleges, by which our citizens of India can be more able to get higher education and job opportunities. But does this proposal can really lead our nations to Vikshit Bharat? Can it be able to make our nation really develop, and can it make our nation crime free and zero poverty, and where our development will rise? I would like to conclude my speech by putting forward all my questions that arises in my mind, and hoping that in the upcoming 100 years of our independence, we will have a fully developed nation. Thank you.
Now we will have Dipjyoti Brahma, serial number 24, followed by Dhanupriya Brahma.
Good morning everyone, respected judges and my dear friends. So my name is Vikshit Bharat and ये वन नेशन एंड वन इलेक्शन ये नया नहीं है हम लोग के इंडिया में. ये इन द ईयर 1951 से लेकर 1967 तक यही हुआ करता था, मगर कुछ स्टेट्स में ये इलेक्शन को चला नहीं पाए, जिसके कारण ये बंद हो गया था। लेकिन अभी वापस इन 2025 ये सिस्टम को रिकॉर्ड किया गया है, जिसकी वजह से हमें जानना ज़रूरी है कि ये सिस्टम हमें क्या फ़ायदे एंड क्या नुकसान दे सकते हैं। तो कुछ फ़ायदे के बारे में बोलना चाहूँगा। इसका फ़ायदा ये है कि अगर हम इस सिस्टम को लेते, जितने भी हमारे जो अननेसेसरी वेस्टेज ऑफ मनी है वो बंद हो जाएंगे, एंड जो गवर्नमेंट स्पेशली वो जो सिर्फ इलेक्शन जीतने में ध्यान देते, ना कि पब्लिक पर, ना कि गवर्नेंस पर, वो बढ़ेंगे अगर हम इस वन इलेक्शन सिस्टम को लेंगे। तो जो पब्लिक सर्विस है वो भी काफ़ी अच्छा होगा, एंड जो पब्लिक जो सिविल सिटीजन्स है, जो एम्प्लॉई है, उनका टाइम भी काफ़ी बचेगा, क्योंकि एक ही बार होगा इलेक्शन, और एक ही बार करने से जो काफ़ी सारे जो वेस्ट है टाइम का वो भी कम हो जाएगा। सो यही कुछ फ़ायदे हैं इसके। लेकिन ऑन दी अदर हैंड इसके थोड़े नुकसान भी है। नुकसान ये है कि अगर हम इस सिस्टम को अपनाते हैं तो ये सिस्टम को अपनाने में थोड़ा सा टाइम लगेगा, जिसके कारण गवर्नमेंट थोड़ा सा केयरलेस हो सकते हैं पब्लिक को अट्रैक्ट करने में, क्योंकि इलेक्शन एक बार ही होगा तो उनको टाइम ज़्यादा मिलेगा अट्रैक्ट करने के लिए। एंड जो नए पॉलिसीज, नए जो भी लॉस इम्प्लीमेंट होते हैं वो भी थोड़ा सा लेट होगा। इसके कारण गवर्नमेंट को पहले से ही सोच के रखना पड़ेगा ताकि उनका पार्टी डिसॉल्व ना हो। एंड इन द फ्यूचर मेरे ख्याल से ये सिस्टम अच्छा है वन इलेक्शन, क्योंकि इसमें टाइम भी बचता है, अननेसेसरी मनी भी वेस्ट नहीं होता। तो बस मैं यही बोलना चाहूँगा कि ये सिस्टम अच्छा है इसको अपनाने से। बाकी दैट्स ऑल आई वांट टू थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय हिंद।
Now we have Dhanupriya Brahma, followed by Dhruvajyoti Bhagat. Dhanupriya Brahma, her serial number is 26.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Today as a student, I am honored to speak on a topic that has the potential to transform our democracy. One nation, one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. The concept of one nation, one election refers to conducting simultaneous election for the Lok Sabha and all state assemblies, instead of having elections throughout the year. This was the norm in India until 1967, when political instability and dissolution led to separate election cycles. The idea of bringing back simultaneous election cycle has been repeatedly discussed by various governments and aspects. The government has formed a high-level committee under former President Ramnath Kovind to examine its feasibility. Benefits like cost savings and economic efficiency, if we say the 2019 Lok Sabha elections alone cost around 60,000 crores, including government and political party expenditures. If elections are held simultaneously, it could drastically reduce costs, allowing these resources to be directed toward development initiatives like infrastructures, education, and health care. What if the government collapses? A key concern is what happens if a state government or the central government collapses before completing its term. Will that state remain under president's rule until the next elections cycle? This could raise democratic concerns about government and representation. Before any implementation, there must be widespread discussion among citizens, experts, stakeholders to ensure transparency. Let us move forward with a vision and prioritizes both development and democracy, ensuring that Vikshit Bharat is not just a dream but a reality in the making. By saying this, I conclude my speech here. Thank you.
Now we will have Dhruvajyoti Bhagat, followed by D.R. Roy.
नमस्कारम, मैं ध्रुवज्योति भगत बीएससी फोर्थ सेम साइंस कॉलेज कोकराझार का स्टूडेंट हूँ। आज मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आप चाहते हैं कि हमारा नेता चुनाव जीतने में इतने बेस्ट हो जाए कि देश को बेहतर बनाने की भक्ति न मिले। मेरे बहनों को बोर्ड परीक्षा टल गई, मेरे गांव का स्कूल बंद हो गया सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि शिक्षक वोटिंग ड्यूटी में थे। आज मैं इस के खिलाफ युवाओं को आवाज बनाकर बोलना चाहूँगा। एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव। चुनाव का खेल या देश का विकास। 2014 से 2023 तक का चुनाव में खर्च हुए हैं। इससे बन सकते थे 2500 से ज़्यादा एम्स इंस्टीट्यूट या 1 करोड़ से ज़्यादा ग्रामीण शौचालय, पर हमने चुना पोस्टर, पुलिस और पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों का एडवर्टाइजिंग करना। दुनिया हंसती है। स्वीडन, इंडोनेशिया जैसे 40 से ज़्यादा देशों ने एक चुनाव अपनाकर विकास की रेस जीती है और हम चुनावी रैलियों में भटकते रहे। क्या हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जवान सीमा पर तैनात रहे या चुनावी बूथ पर चौकसी करे? क्या एक चुनाव और हजारों समाधान नहीं हो सकते? कल्पना कीजिए 2030 का भारत, एक दिन एक वोट, पूरा देश 26 जनवरी को गणतंत्र दिवस की तरह वोट डालेंगे। युवाओं को मिलेगा हर गांव में 5G इंटरनेट की सुविधाएं, स्मार्ट क्लासेस, स्टार्टअप्स की फंडिंग, ना कि नेताओं को हेलीकॉप्टर। मेरे बहन चुनाव के दिन ऑनलाइन वोट डालकर नासा जैसे संस्थानों पर इंटर्नशिप के लिए जा सकेंगे। यही है लोकतंत्र 2.0, जहां वोटर्स राजा है ना कि नेता। कहते हैं संविधान टूट जाएगा। जिस देश ने 370 हटाया, जिस देश ने GST लागू किया, चंद्रमा पर तिरंगा फहराया, क्या वो देश चुनाव के लिए एक कैलेंडर नहीं बना सकता? और हाँ, अगर सरकार गिरी तो मोदी जी, राहुल जी, ममता जी मिलकर एक अंतरिम सरकार चलाएंगे, क्योंकि देश से बड़ा कोई नहीं। थैंक यू।
Now we have Dia Roy, followed by Elisha Demare.
सभा में उपस्थित आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। आज मैं एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव के बारे में कुछ बोलने जा रही हूँ। तो हम समझते हैं कि एक राष्ट्र और एक चुनाव हमारे लिए क्या है। रूलिंग पार्टी कह रही है कि हम एक राष्ट्र और एक चुनाव को लाते हैं, पर जो हमारे ऑपोजिशन पार्टी है वो कह रही है कि हम एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव को नहीं लाते हैं। अब हम देखते हैं आम जनता कि हमारे लिए एक राष्ट्र और एक चुनाव क्या फ़ायदे और क्या नुकसान है। पहले हम एक नुकसान देखते हैं। ऑपोजिशन पार्टी के अकॉर्डिंग जो हमारे एक राष्ट्र और एक चुनाव है, उसमें अगर हम करेंगे तो ज़्यादातर फोकस जो हमारा नेशनल इश्यूज़ में है उसमें जाएंगे, पर कहीं ना कहीं जो लोकल इश्यूज़ है वो स्पॉटलाइट से हट जाएंगे। ये हमारा एक मेजर इशू हो जाएगा। अब हम देखते हैं कि हमारे रूलिंग पार्टी के अकॉर्डिंग हमारे लिए क्या फ़ायदे हैं। अगर हम एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव करेंगे तो जो हमारे इलेक्शन में जो खर्चा होते हैं वो बच जाएंगे, जैसे कि सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस, उसमें जो हमारे खर्चा है वो बच जाएंगे और हमारे GDP में 1.5% यानी कि 4.5 लाख करोड़ बढ़ जाएंगे और इससे गवर्नर की इफ़िशियंसी भी कम हो जाएगी। और मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगी कि एक राष्ट्र और एक चुनाव ही हमें करना चाहिए, क्योंकि इससे हमारे GDP में भी बहुत इफ़ेक्ट होंगे और हमारा देश भी एक विकसित भारत बनेगा। 1951 से लेके 1967 तक ये एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव लागू हो रहे थे, परंतु कुछ साल बाद ही ये लागू होना बंद हो गए। अन्य देशों में भी जैसे कि इंडोनेशिया, साउथ अफ्रीका और स्वीडन में भी ये एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव लागू है। और हमारे देश में 26 नवंबर में हमारे नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ये कहा कि एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव करेंगे। और अभी हम देख रहे हैं कि 2029 में भी ये लागू हो सकते हैं। अभी भी इसका चर्चा चल रहा है। और मैं ये इसके साथ ही कंक्लूड करना चाहती हूँ कि एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव अगर हम करेंगे तो हमारे देश एक विकसित भारत बनने में सहायता होगा। थैंक यू।
Now we will have Elisha Demari, followed by Ganga Kumari.
Namaste, Khulumbai. A very good morning to all present over here. I'm Elisha Demari from Gosaigam B.Ed College. So today, I will be talking about one nation, one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. So, this topic, whenever it comes, one nation, one election, what does people generally think? They think that only one election for all the countrymen, right? But then that is not the thing. This topic, this one nation, one election, it means that the elections, multiple elections will be held, but in one day or within a set period of time. So what happened in the present case scenario of our country, multiple elections are held consecutively in either 2-3 years or maybe in 2-4 months in a year. So when this occurs, there happens to be division of resources, of power, of time, dedication, money, and which eventually leads to chaos and disruption in the harmony of a country. So when we try to adopt this one nation, one election, what happens? All those unnecessary wastes which occurred while distributing those money and resources, power at different times, now they will be concentrated only at one time. And if that occurs, those unnecessary wastes which occurred, suppose the money, now it can be used for what? For enhancing the economy of a country. As the topic today is given, paving the way for a Vikshit Bharat, right? So Vikshit Bharat means a developed India. So for any particular country to be completely developed, what we need? We need a stable economy. So those money which was used unnecessarily now can be used for developing, for enhancing the growth of the economy of a country. So when the economy of a country grows, then only we can focus on other greater purposes for making a country develop, right? जैसे हमारे मोदी जी बोलते हैं, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री बोलते हैं, for a country to be developed, there should be a main focus on one very important thing, that are the youth of a country, right? So those youths, if they are given the chances, if they are provided with facilities, if they are invested on their education, on their healthcare, like scholarships and all, then they will get the chance to develop further. And those youths, where do they come from? Upcoming youths, next generations of youths, they come from whom? They come from women, right? Also there is a saying, the status of a country can only be known by the status of a woman. So other than only focusing on the youths and the economy of a country, we should also focus on the status of a woman, on the safety of a woman. And plus along with that, our country especially is very much dependent on the agricultural sector. So for that, we also have to focus on the farmers of our country, because for a country to be developed, especially for our country to be developed, 4 pillars are necessary. The first one, economy, then youth, then women, and then the farmers of our country. So me personally, I'm very much willing to adopt this one nation, one election, and I encourage everyone to adopt it. Thank you.
Now we have Ganga Kumari, followed by Gargi Sarkar.
सुप्रभात, मैं गंगा कुमारी। लोकतंत्र का उत्सव है चुनाव, राष्ट्र की दिशा एवं दशा तय करता है चुनाव। हर मत का अपना भाव है, क्योंकि सियासत के तक पलटता है चुनाव। राजनीति से छान कर राष्ट्र की नीति बनाता है चुनाव। फिर जब अखंड है भारत तो एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव। पहले हमारे देश में सन 1951 से लेकर सन 1967 तक एक चुनाव की प्रक्रिया होती थी, परंतु बाद में ये सिलसिला टूटा और चुनावों में विभाजन आया, परंतु पूर्ण एक बार नीति आयोग ने चुनाव आयोग को एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव का सुझाव दिया है। चुनाव आयोग के आंकड़ों के मुताबिक एक चुनाव का खर्च है 4,500 करोड़। अगर हमारे देश में पूर्ण एक चुनाव होने लगे तो एक मोटी रकम बचने के साथ साथ महत्वपूर्ण संसाधन जैसे यातायात के संसाधन एवं समय की बचत तो होगी, लेकिन बार बार चुनाव होने से जैसे विकास में जंग लग जाता है, पॉलिसी पैरालाइसिस होती है और कुछ महत्वपूर्ण पॉलिसी तो केवल कागज में दब कर रह जाती है। और बार बार चुनाव होने के कारण हमारे देश में जो शिक्षक है वो चुनावी व्यवस्था में इतने व्यस्त हो जाते हैं कि बच्चों की शिक्षा में अपना पूर्ण समय ना देकर इन चुनावी व्यवस्थाओं में अपना समय देते हैं। महोदय, सन 2009 में लोकसभा चुनाव के खर्च की रकम थी 1,700 करोड़, वहीं 2014 के लोकसभा चुनाव की खर्च की रकम थी 4,200 करोड़। हाल ही में हुए लोकसभा चुनाव की खर्च की रकम 7,000 करोड़ से भी अधिक थी। अगर हमारे देश में एक चुनाव की प्रक्रिया को अपनाया जाए तो इन सभी खर्च के साथ बचने के साथ साथ जो बार बार देश में होने वाले चुनाव के कारण निर्माण होने वाली अस्थिरता और इन अस्थिरता के कारण शास्त्र सीमा बल और पुलिस प्रशासन को जिन समस्याओं से जूझना पड़ता है उन समस्याओं से हम बच सकते हैं। अंत में मैं अपने देश के जनता से आह्वान करती हूँ कि केवल जाति, धर्म और भाषा में बंटकर न रह जाए और केवल उनकी पहचान वोटर लिस्ट तक सीमित न रहे। एक नए कदम को उठाते हैं और एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव पर सकारात्मक मोहर लगाते हैं, सकारात्मक मोहर लगाते हैं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Now we will have Gargi Sarkar, followed by Habib Brahma.
Good afternoon everyone. My name is Gargi Sarkar and today I am here to talk about a crucial topic of our democratic system, which is one nation, one election. In our current system, our elections are held at different times in various states, which leads to political campaigns and high expenses and disruption in governance. And distortions in governance, which leads to the overall the development of our country is lessons and in 2019 the governance in 2019 India spent around 60,000 crores in the Lok Sabha elections. So by conducting simultaneous elections, we can lessen the financial burden from our country and we can use that money to healthcare systems, to uplift healthcare systems and educations. So the benefits of one nation, one election are a lot, and it is clear. It helps us to save money and helps our nation to grow. So let's work together to make this idea reality and pave the way for a Vikshit Bharat. Thank you.
Good morning to one and all present over here. My name is Habib Brahma. Today, I stand up before you to speak on a topic that holds great significance for the future of our nation. That is, one nation, one election, paving the way for the Vikshit Bharat. It means that one nation, one election means that the idea of nation holds simultaneously once in a year.
This means that if the bill passes, the election for the Lok Sabha and all the state assemblies across India will be held simultaneously with voting presumably taking place around the same time. In simple words, one nation, one election means there will be one-time election once every year. Now, as we are done with the meaning and the definition of one nation, we can democracy. With this, I include my speech. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Now we will have Harajit Boro, followed by Jenia Basmatari.
खुलुमबाय बयनिसिमबो दिनैनि होखानाय आयदा बायदियै मोनसे हादोर आरो मोनसे बिसायख'थियारि जायनि गेजेरजों जोंनि भारत हादराव जाबाय जेसेबांखिनि बिसायख'थिफोर जायो बेफोर बिसायख'थिफोरखौ खेबसेयैनो 5 बोसोरनि गेजेराव गासैखौबो खनसेयैनो इलेक्शन एबा बिसायख'थि जों खालामो मानो होननानै बुङोब्ला बे जोंनि थाखाय जोबोद मोजां जागोन भारत हादराव बोसोरफ्रोमबो 5 एबा 4-3 दानफोरनि गेजेरावनो गोबां बिसायख'थिफोर जायो आरो बे बिसायख'थिनि गेजेरजों गोबां रां खरसाफोर जायो आरो बे रां खरसा जानायखौ जोङो बे one nation one election बे बिखान्थिनि गेजेरजों जोङो होबथानो हायो आरो बे रांखौ जोङो बायदि खामानियाव बाहायनो हायो जेरै हेल्थ केयारफोर जाबाय इनफ्रास्ट्राक्चारफोर जाबाय बेफोराव जों बाहायनो हायो आरो जोंहा दिनै थिखानाय आयदा बायदि जोंहा मोनसे सिमां दं जाय जादों विकसित भारत जाय डेभलप इन्डिया बेनि थाखायबो जोङो बे जेसेबांखिनि आग्लायनाय जा रां बेफोरजों जोङो गोबां खामानियाव बाहायनानै जोङो भारत हादरखौ दावगालांहोनो हागोन दा जोबनायाव आं बेखौनो खावलायगोन जे जोंनि भारत हादरा बे one nation one election बे खान्थिखौ बाहायो गोजोन्थों
Now we will have Jenia Basmatari, followed by Krita Narzary.
Warm greetings to everyone. My name is Jenia Basmatari and I'm going to speak to you about one nation, one election, paving the way to Vikshit Bharat. On 17 December 2024, a bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha. The government called it the most effective bill to be introduced and which can change the India's electoral history. And it can boost the India's GDP by 5 lakh crores. So this bill is one nation, one election. What exactly one nation, one election bill is? One nation, one election bill is a under consideration proposal by government of India to synchronize all the election at a same time within in every 5 years. However, one nation, one election is not new to India because the first general election, 1951-52, was conducted simultaneously along with all state assemblies. This continued for subsequent 3 years, 1957, 1962 and 1967. However, this system was disrupted due to premature disruption in some state assembly elections. At present, our election system have multiple elections every year. So basically in India, there is always an election happening everywhere or other. So the question is, why the government intend to change the election system? Well, the first problem with our present election system is about governance disruption. During the election mode, the governance of India comes to halt because it triggers the model code of conduct, which is a set of rules designed to ensure fair election in the country. It also affects the face of developmental program and related activities in state undergoing election. Second, the elections are incredibly expensive. The Lok Sabha election 2019 has been described as the most expensive election ever anywhere. With a study estimated the money spent that year was around 50 to 60 crores. Third, administrative hurdles. In each election, security forces, schools and administrations are overburdened and essential services are put to extra work. Lastly, so to tackle this program, the government came up with a solution and proposed this bill, One Nation, One Election. Thank you.
Now we will have Krita Narzary, followed by Mahadev Brahma.
खुलुमबाय सानजौफुनि गोजोननाय बयनिसिमबो जासिहरग्रोनाय जाबाय दिनै आं मोनसे हादोर मोनसे बिसायख'थिनि बारै नोंथांमोननि गेजेराव बेखौनो फोरमायनो सानोदि आरो बियो माबोरै विकसित भारतखौ गोरलैयै जौगाफुनायावहाय एबा भारत हादरखौ जौगानायावहाय माबोरै हेफाजाब होनो हायो मोनसे हादोर मोनसे बिसायख'थि बुङोब्ला जोङो मोनथिनो हायो दि गुबुन गुबुन बिसायख'थिफोरखौ खेबसेयैनो एबा 5 बोसोरनि उनावहाय लक सभा आरो स्टेट एसेम्बलि बे मोननै बिसायख'थिखौ मोनसे समावनो जयै बिसायख'थि खालामनाय एबा बिसायख'थि दानाय जोङो मोनथिनो हायो बे प्रप'जालखौ 2018 मायथाइयावहाय जोंनि प्राइम मिनिस्टार मानगोनां श्रीमती नरेन्द्र मदिनि गेजेरजों बेखौ लाबोनाय जायो जोङो मोनथिनो मोनो वान नेशन वान इलेक्शन बियो
Thank you.
Now we have Mahadev Brahma. Who will be followed by
Good afternoon, everyone.
Narzary.
Today I stand over here to discuss a concept, one nation, one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. This concept has the potential to reshape the democratic landscape of our great nation, India. One nation, one election. This proposal is not only just a matter of convenience, but it is about bringing efficiency, reducing costs, and enhancing the strength of our democracy. There are several benefits of one nation, one election. Firstly, it can subsequently reduce the election-related expenses, which can run into thousands of crores. Secondly, it can minimize the disruption caused by frequent election, allowing the government to focus on the development of the country. Thirdly, it can ensure the smooth functioning of the government without being distracted by the frequent election. However, there are also concerns that need to be addressed. Others argue that frequent election could lead to a loss of local focus as national conference might dominate the campaign narrative. Thank you, everyone.
Now we will have Mainav Narzary, followed by Mizi Basmatari.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Mainav Narzary, and I'm going to give a speech on the given topic, One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat.
One nation, one election. It simply means all the election in the country to be held simultaneously. The Lok Sabha, state assembly elections and even the local elections, all of them would be held together. The key objective of this approach is quite simple. The government wants to reduce the cost of elections, enhance government and improve voter engagement. The aim of this policy is not only about election, but it is also about building a strong and more progressive democratic India. Some benefits of this policy is that it saves us a huge amount of money. It saves us a huge amount of money for national development, and it is also useful for better governments and fewer disruptions, less burden on citizens and administrations. And it also strengthens our democracy. By adopting one nation, one election, we can reduce voter confusions and encourage more people to participate in the elections. One nation, one election is a great step towards a stronger and more efficient democracy. It is a crucial step toward Vikshit Bharat, a developed and efficient India. Thank you.
Now we will have Mizi Bastari, followed by Minu Brahma.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mizi Busumutari from Zoology Department. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak in today's program on the topic of One Nation, One Election. तो सोचिए एक गांव में एक स्कूल बन रहा है, बच्चे खुश हैं, नया स्कूल बनेगा, इलेक्शन आ जाता है, नेता आता है इलेक्शन वोट मांगने के लिए, ये करेंगे वो करेंगे बोलेंगे, लेकिन कुछ नहीं करता। एक साल बीत गया, 2 साल बीत गया, 3 साल बीत गया, लेकिन कुछ नहीं, नो इम्प्रूवमेंट, नो डेवलपमेंट। आज हमारे भारत में अलग अलग राज्यों में अलग समय पर इलेक्शन होता है, इसी नेता हर वक्त वोट मांगने और राजनीति पे लगे रहते हैं, असली काम नहीं होता। अगर हर वक्त नेता वोट मांगने में बिजी रहेंगे तो सरकार काम करेगी। अगर हर वक्त इलेक्शन होगा तो विकास कैसे होगा? इसलिए जरूरी है वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन। क्यों जरूरी है? देखो, एक साथ इलेक्शन होने से पैसा बचेगा। अभी तो हर बार हजारों हजार करोड़ वेस्ट किया जाता है। अगर एक ही बार इलेक्शन होगा तो पैसा गरीबों के नाम आ सकते हैं, उन लोगों के लिए एक नया घर बन सकते हैं, नया स्कूल बना के दे सकते हैं। नेताजी को सिर्फ राजनीति नहीं चलेगा, काम भी होगा। हर वक्त वोट के चक्कर में नेता सिर्फ जनता को बेवकूफ बनाने में लगे रहते हैं। अगर एक साथ चुनाव होगा तो 5 साल सिर्फ काम होगा। बेचारे पुलिस वाले में एक सांस की चैन मिलेगी। अगर उन लोगों को जब भी वक्त होता है, उन लोगों को वोट के ड्यूटी पे लगे रहते हैं। उन लोगों का काम तो हमारे देश की सुरक्षा है, बेचारे वो नहीं कर पाते। जब एक घर में हर महीने अगर नई नई रूल्स बदल जाएंगे तो घर का काम कैसे चलेगा? वैसे ही अगर हर सालों पर हमारा बार बार इलेक्शन होगा तो हमारा देश कैसे चलेगा? सोचिए, अगर आपके बच्चों का स्कूल हर महीना बंद हो जाता है, अगर आपका हॉस्पिटल हर महीना अधूरा रहे, अगर आपके गांव की सड़क सिर्फ वादों में बने रहे, ऑफ कोर्स ये सही नहीं है। आज हर एक इलेक्शन के चक्कर में स्कूल कॉलेज बंद हो जाती है, सरकारी ऑफिसेस बंद हो जाती है, रास्ता बंद करवाते हैं, गाड़ी बसेस बंद करवा देते हैं, कहीं जाना हो नहीं जा पाते हैं। थोड़ा सोच के देखो, एक इलेक्शन में इतना पैसा लगता है कि इसकी पैसा से हमें हॉस्पिटल बना सकता है, नया स्कूल बना सकता है, लेकिन नहीं, पैसा तो पोस्टर बनाने में लग रही है, रैली करने में लग रही है, वोट मांगने में लग रही है, इधर उधर जाने में लग रही है। तो हमें आज बदलाव लाना होगा। अगर एक साथ इलेक्शन होगा तो हर नेता 5 साल तक काम करेगा, हर पैसा सिर्फ देश के विकास में लगेगा, हर युवक को नई नौकरी मिलेगी, हर गांव, हर शहर, हर किसान का भला होगा। सो लास्ट में मैं यही बोलूंगी, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन होगा तो भारत के
Now we will have Milo Brahma, followed by Mitisar Basmatari.
Good afternoon to all the respected judges and all the participants. I'm a student of Kokrajhar Government College from Department of Physics, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. So, election is an integral part of any democracy, and how elections are held are equally important. So, if you talk about the current election system, that is non-simultaneous. What happens? There are some drawbacks that I would like to list out. First, teachers are requested for the duty of the election. At the same time, they are needed for imparting education. So it takes a heavy toll on both the teachers as well as on the education of the students. Secondly, frequent elections suspends the various development related, welfare related schemes which can be made for the common people. Thirdly, a large number of security forces are required along the whole process of the election, so which in turn affects the internal security of our country. And thirdly, most important, the amount of money which is spent on these frequent elections is massive. And it is ultimately the tax money that we common people are paying which is used, right? So, if on the other hand, if we adopt this one nation, one election, what happens? We can save a lot of money. It can be used for other important development sectors like healthcare and education as well. And also, the ministers can focus more on the governance. So, I believe that one nation, one election is a great initiative taken for the making of India into a developed country by the year 2047. With this note, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you all.
Now we have Mitisar Basmatari, followed by Bina Wari, serial number 12.
Good afternoon everyone, myself Vikshit Bharat. It is a privilege to stand here and share my thoughts on a topic that holds great significance for our democracy, that is one nation and one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. As we know, elections are the foundation of a democratic nation. However, in India, frequent elections at different levels leads to high costs and a continuous election mode that affects governance. The idea of one nation and one election proposes synchronizing Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections to streamline the electoral process, reduce expenses, and ensure smooth governance. One nation and one election is the proposed electoral reform where elections to the Lok Sabha and all state assemblies will be held simultaneously instead of separate elections at different times. Both national and state polls will be synchronized to take place in a single time frame. And this one nation and one election is not a concept. It's not a new concept. It was present earlier. India had a synchronous election system in the past from 1952 to 1967, where Lok Sabha and State Assembly elections were held simultaneously. However, this system broke down due to the political instability. And what happens if the implementation of one nation and one election is done? If one nation and one election is implemented in India, there will be various potential benefits like cost savings, where we can save huge amount of money spent on frequent elections, and better governance. Leaders can focus on long-term policy making rather than being in constant election mode, and we can reduce administrative burden. Security forces and election affairs must not be repeatedly engaged in election duties, and we can higher voter turnout and political stability. With this, I end my speech only. Thank you.
Now we have Bilina Wari, followed by Munmun Khaklari.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bilina Wari, and I'm honored to be here today. It is a privilege to share my thought on this occasion. Today, I want to talk about on the topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. Something that is important to all of us. I hope this speech will inspire you and spark meaningful discussion. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. Today, I stand before you to discuss a vision that has the potential to transform our great nation, one election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. This idea aims to synchronize election across India. Ensuring that Lok Sabha and State Assembly polls are held simultaneously. But why is this important? Currently, our nation witnesses election almost every year in some part of the country. This disrupts governments, burdens resources, and slows down development. With One Nation, One Election, we can reduce administrative costs, ensuring political stability, and focus on long-term progress rather than short-term electoral gains. This reform is not just about efficiency, it is about empowering India to become a Vikshit Bharat. A nation where policies are implemented without interruption, where governance is not dictated by electoral cycles, and where our democracy becomes stronger and more effective. Of course, challenges exist: constitutional amendment, political consensus, and logistical hurdles. But if we can overcome them, we can lay the foundation for a new era of governments, one that is stable, efficient, and focused on nation building. As we strive for Vikshit Bharat, an empowered and progressive India, we need bold reforms. One nation, one election is not just an administrative change. It is a step towards a more efficient, stable, and forward-looking democracy. Let us all come together and support this initiative for a better, stronger, and more developed India. Thank you.
Now, Clary, followed by Navazid Rai.
फूलों की खुशबू से महकता बदले का आकाश, कॉकरोच के दिल में बसती है शक्ति और विश्वास, संस्कृति, ज्ञान और वीरता की है जहाँ पहचान, भारत की आत्मा बसती है उस महान भूमि में सदा समान. खुलुमबाय, आं मुनमुन खाख्लारि, आं क'क्राझार सोरखारि फरायसालिमानिफ्राय. दिनै आं बेयाव मोनसे हादर आरो मोनसे बिसायख'थिनि बाथ्रा रायज्लायनो फैदों. मोनसे गोहोगोरा सानस्रि जाय सानस्रि भारतखौ विकसित भारत जानायाव मदद होगोन. आथिखालाव गोबां बोसोराव गोबां खेब बिसायख'थि खालामनायखौ नुनो मोनो, जेरै लकसभा, राज्यसभा, आयेन सभा आरो रायजोआरि आफादफोरनि थाखाय. बिनि जाहोनाव गोबां रां खरसा जानायखौ नुनो मोनो. नाथाय जों गासैबो बिसायख'थिखौ एखे समावनो खुंफुङोब्ला मा जागोन? थारैनो मोनसे हादर मोनसे बिसायख'थिनि थांखिया बेयो मानो गोनां? फार्स्टआव दं रां रैखा खालामो. खनले बिसायख'थि खुंफुंनायाव कौटि रां खरसा जायो. बे रांखौ बेनि सोलायै फरायसालि, देहा फाहामसालि आरो साख्रिफोराव बाहायनो हायो. नैथियाव दं गोख्रों जौगानायखौ रोखा खालामो. बिसायख'थिया मडेल कड अफ कन्डाक्ट लाबोयो, जाय गोदान मावथांखिफोरखौ लाबोहोयो. जुदि बिसायख'थिया जयै जायोब्ला अब्ला सोरखारफोरा गुबै दावगानायाव गोसो मोननो हागोन. थामथियाव दं भट होग्राफोरनि अनजिमाखौ बांहोयो. सुबुंफोरा गले बिसायख'थिनि थाखाय भट होनायखौ नागारबाय थायो. बेनि थाखायनो बिसायख'थियाव बांसिन लाबोनो थाखाय मोनसे हादर आरो मोनसे मोनसे हादर आरो मोनसे बिसायख'थिया गोनां ब्रैथियाव दं समाजारि जेंनाखौ बाङाइ खालामो सोलिबाय थानाय बिसायख'थिया गावस्रानाय आरो गोसो बोहोनायखौ सोमजिहोयो मोनसेल' बिसायख'थिया दिदोमथि लाबोगोन आरो खौसेथि चेलेन्ज आरो सलुसनफोरखौ माखासे सुबुंफोरा बुङो दि बियो गोब्राब मानोना गुबुन गुबुन रायजोफोरा गुबुन गुबुन समसिमा थायो नाथाय थि थांखि आरो आयेन सोलायनायजों बेखौ मावफुंनो हायो जेरै मोनसे हादर आरो मोनसे खाजोनाखौ जयै जाफुंसार मावबोदोंमोन फोजोबथिया जुदि जों थारैनो मोनसे जौगानायखौ लाबोनो लुबैयोब्ला जों मोनसे थि थांखि लानांगोन बेनि थाखायनो फै जों बयबो खौसे जानानै मोनसे विकसित भारतनि थाखाय बे सानस्रिनि थाखाय खामानि मावनि जय हिन्द जय भारत थेंक इउ
which creates many problems. Which creates many problems. Sorry.
Now we will have Nandini Tarafdar followed by Navanita Ray.
Namaste and a very good afternoon to all the individuals present here. My name is Nandini Tarafdar and today I'll be sharing my views on One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. Imagine a nation where the rhythm of progress isn't interrupted every few months by the clamor of elections. Imagine a nation where our leaders can focus on building a Vikshit Bharat without the constant distraction of campaign trials. Today, I want to talk about One Nation, One Election, not just as a policy, but as a catalyst for our nation's transformation. Think about it. Endless cycles of elections drain our resources, disrupt governance and development projects. Every few months, we see model codes of conduct freezing progress and our leaders diverted from crucial tasks. One nation, one election can change that. There are numerous advantages of one nation, one election. First, it will bring unprecedented stability. It allows our governments to dedicate their full term to delivering results. Imagine the sheer momentum we can build when our leaders are focused on a policy, not politics. The stability is the bedrock upon which a Vikshit Bharat can be built. Second, it will lead to massive cost savings. Think of the billions spent on repeated elections, money that could be invested in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. This is not just about saving money, it's about investing in our future. Every rupee saved is a rupee invested in a stronger, more prosperous India. Fourth, it will reduce societal disruption. Frequent elections often lead to polarization and social tensions. Unifying this election process can help foster a sense of national unity, shared purpose, crucial for collective progress. Respected audience, One Nation, One Election is not just a logistical change, it's a paradigm shift. It's about streamlining our democracy, maximizing our resources, and unleashing our collective potential. It's about clearing the path for a Vikshit Bharat, a developed, prosperous, and powerful India. Let's embrace this vision, let's support this change, and let's work together to build the India we all dream of. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Now we will have Navanita Ray followed by Nazar.
নমস্কাৰ মোৰ নাম নৱনীতা ৰয় মই এইখন কলেজৰ ছাত্ৰী আজিৰ সভাত উপস্থিত সভাপতি মহোদয় আৰু শ্ৰদ্ধাৰ শিক্ষকসকলক নমস্কাৰ বিকশিত ভাৰত হ'ল দেশৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীৰ শিক্ষাৰ উন্নতিৰ লগতে আন বহুতো দেশৰ উন্নতিৰ বাবে চৰকাৰে লোৱা এটা যোজনা ইয়াৰ দ্বাৰা মই এইটোৱে বিচাৰোঁ যে আমাৰ শৈক্ষিক পাঠ্যক্ৰমত নৈতিক শিক্ষা প্ৰদান কৰা উচিত কাৰণ বৰ্তমান সময়ত যুৱ প্ৰজন্মৰ নৈতিকতা বাৰুকৈয়ে নোহোৱা হৈ আহিছে আৰু লগতে আমাৰ পাঠ্যক্ৰমত জনসংখ্যা বিষয়ক শিক্ষা অন্তৰ্ভুক্ত কৰা উচিত কাৰণ বৰ্তমান সময়ত দেখা দিয়া জনসংখ্যা বৃদ্ধিৰ সমস্যাই ভৱিষ্যতে ভাৰতক এখন উন্নত ৰাষ্ট্ৰৰূপে গঢ় দি উঠাত বাধা প্ৰদান কৰিব শেষত এটাই কথা কওঁ যে বিকশিত ভাৰত কেৱল এটা লক্ষ্য নহয় এইটো আমাৰ দায়িত্ব যাৰ দ্বাৰা আমি আমাৰ দায়িত্ব কৰ্তব্য নিয়াৰিকৈ পালন কৰি গ'লে ভাৰতক এখন বিকশিত ৰাষ্ট্ৰৰূপে গঢ়ি তুলিবলৈ সক্ষম হ'ম ধন্যবাদ
Now we will have Narzary followed by Parishmita Roy.
Good afternoon everyone, present in this Mohini Mohan Brahma Auditorium Hall. My name is Jim Narzary. I am here to speak about topic One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. In my opinion, to achieve the aim of Vikshit Bharat, we need efficiency, strong government, political stability, and conducting all elections at once is one of the best ways to achieve this. Right now in India, elections are held frequently which cost thousands of crores, security, campaign expenses, but by conducting elections simultaneously, we can save this cost and it can be used for development purposes of country, hospitals, schools, instead of using in elections. Frequent elections disrupt the government. Politicians mostly focus on winning the votes except for working for the people. With this, I conclude my speech. Thank you.
Now we will have Parishmita Roy followed by Piyush Devnath.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Parishmita Roy. Today I am here to talk about a transformative idea that has the potential to revolutionize our democratic process. An idea that embodies the spirit of unity, efficiency and progress. An idea that I believe will pave the way for a Vikshit Bharat, a developed and prosperous India. That is, one nation, one election. The concept of one nation, one election is not new to our nation. In fact, India's first few general elections were held simultaneously from 1951 to 1967. However, over time, our electoral laws got fragmented, leading frequent elections. Recently, the Union Cabinet approved it and a high-level committee submitting its recommendations. So what are the benefits of adopting one nation, one election? Firstly, it will reduce the massive expenditure incurred on conducting frequent elections. According to estimates, the cost of conducting simultaneous elections would be significantly lower than the current system. In fact, it's estimated that we can save a whopping 60,000 crore which was spent during the 2019 Lok Sabha elections alone. Just imagine the impact this amount could have on our nation's development. Secondly, it will improve governance by ensuring uninterrupted policy making and faster implementation of developmental initiatives. Thirdly, it will increase voter participation. Simultaneous elections might encourage more citizens to participate in the electoral process as they will have fewer instances of elections overlapped. However, we must also acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. To implement one nation, one election, we need to make necessary amendments to our constitution and electoral laws. We need to build a consensus among our political parties and stakeholders. But I believe that the benefits of one nation, one election far outweigh the challenges. It has the potential to transform our electoral landscape, promote stability and efficiency, and pave the way for a Vikshit Bharat. So let us work together to build a stronger, more prosperous and more developed India. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Now we will have Piyush Devnath, followed by Prisma Borgoyari.
नमस्कार सभी को मैं आज मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ यूथ अफेयर्स और स्पोर्ट्स का धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि हमें यह मौका दिया गया कि हम अपनी बात को यहाँ रख सके एक क्रूशल पॉलिसी के ऊपर जो है वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन। वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन शायद इस जनरेशन की नहीं, ये अपने गवर्नमेंट की वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पॉलिसीज हो सकती है। हमें गोल दिया गया है कि ये 2047 तक हमें एक विकसित भारत बनाना है। विकसित भारत सिर्फ यही नहीं, हमें एक सशक्त देश भी बनना है। इसलिए आज कुछ पॉइंट्स मैं आपके सामने रखना चाहूँगा। फर्स्ट, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हमारी इलेक्शन कॉस्ट को ड्रास्टिकली कम कर सकती है। जैसे 2024 लोकसभा इलेक्शन में ओवर 1.35 लाख करोड़ खर्च किए गए हैं, जो बहुत है इस डेवलपिंग नेशन के लिए, और ये 2 टाइम्स ज़्यादा है। हम कह सकते हैं कि ये ट्वाइस द कॉस्ट ऑफ 2029 लोकसभा इलेक्शन। सो हमें ये फोकस करना है कि हम मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट मैक्सिमम गवर्नमेंट्स को कैसे लागू कर सकते हैं। इसलिए वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन का की पॉइंट्स है गवर्नमेंट स्टेबिलिटी। पिछले 5 साल में कहीं ना कहीं देश के गवर्नमेंट या इलेक्शंस होते रहते हैं जिसमें हमारा बहुत पैसा बर्बाद होता है। इसलिए वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे नेशन का ग्रोथ करने के लिए। इसलिए मैं फिर से धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा मिनिस्ट्री को कि हमें ये चांस दिया गया कि हम हमारी बात यहाँ रख सकें। जय हिंद।
Now we will have Prisma Borgoyari, followed by Rahabi Hazwari.
Good afternoon to each and everyone present over here. My name is Prisma Borgoyari. I am from District Chirang. I am currently pursuing my BSc Honours in Zoology at Koprachar Government College. Elections are the integral part of any democracy, and how those elections are held is equally important. After the Constitution was adopted in 1950, polls to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies were held simultaneously every 5 years between 1951 to 1967. The process ended as some of the legislative assemblies were dissolved in 1968 to 1969. One nation, one election means holding all the elections at the same time, including Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies of all 28 states and 8 union territories. It aims to save money, time, efforts by avoiding frequent elections. Right now in India, elections are held every now and then. This creates problems like delay in development work because model of conduct stops the government from making big decisions during elections. By having all the elections at once, politicians can focus more on their work rather than always preparing themselves for the next election. By this idea, our country's vision for Vikshit Bharat by 2047 will be successful. The vision of Vikshit Bharat has 4 pillars: Yuva, Garib, Mahilaye and Annadatta. And if these 4 pillars are empowered and supported, then India's dream for Vikshit Bharat will be more develop. In conclusion, I would like to conclude one nation, one election embodies a transformative vision of India's democracy. One nation, one election can redefine India's democratic process, paving a more effective way and inclusive future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Now we will have Rahabi Hazwari followed by Raghav Bharat. I am proud to be Indian, where history, culture, and progress walk hand in hand. My country is my identity, my strength, and my inspiration. Respected jury members, teachers, and all my dear friends, my name is Rahabi Hazwari from Kokrajhar Government College. I'm studying in BA 6th semester. Today, I'm here to talk about One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. The Vikshit Bharat is envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister and also spend their time and money on developing the country. And also, I think the economic growth will be very much well. So, if we have one nation and one election, I think the government will be able to concentrate more on development rather than campaigning or concentrating on what people think. And also, if we have one nation and one election, there is also some disadvantages. What if the government becomes lazy and doesn't work? What if he sits idle on his seat doing nothing? The country will not develop. So I would like to conclude my speech by a quote said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam ji. I am proud to be Indian because we have history to share, civilization to inspire, and also we have history to inspire and we have innovation. We can develop our country by innovation and hard work. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Now we will have Raghav Bharat followed by Rashmila Basmatari.
Good afternoon, Honorable House. I am Raghav Bharat, BSc 4th semester from the Department of Zoology. So I stand over here to speak short speech about One Nation, One Election, paving the way for the Vikshit Bharat. So basically, Vikshit Bharat is the one where fruits of development reach every citizen. So One Nation, One Election is basically conducting all the elections at a specific time. So with One Nation, One Election, we get the ability to make decisions that are forward looking and strategic rather than focusing on the election cycles. मतलब ये basically है हम every time सिर्फ बिना election के सोचे ही हम देश को कैसे develop कर सकते हैं या फिर देश का GDP को कैसे आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं वो सब भी सोच सकते हैं. So One Nation One Election का advantages भी है. मैं बस few advantages बोलूँगा. वैसा cost efficiency है जिससे cost बच जाता है. So बार बार इलेक्शन कंडक्ट करने रहने से भी मतलब उसका कॉस्ट बहुत आता है. तो उस कॉस्ट के पैसों से भी हम जैसे एजुकेशनल यूजेस या फिर हेल्थ इश्यूज ये सब पे लगा सकते हैं. फिर नंबर तो आता है जैसा कि मतलब एक इलेक्शन साइकिल इज इजियर देन द सेवरल साइकिल्स जिससे
कमीशंस और स्टेट एजेंसीज को मतलब उनका जो वो डेडिकेट कर सकता है, मतलब एक ही काम पे वो एक ही मेजर इवेंट पे वो अपना एनर्जी, मनी और टाइम डेडिकेट कर सकता है। फिर इसका थोड़ा सा बैरियर भी है, उसको डिसएडवांटेज तो नहीं बोलेंगे लेकिन बैरियर बोलेंगे। जैसे कि इंडिया में तो इंडिया इज ए डाइवर्स कंट्री जिसपे 28 स्टेट्स है और इंडिया पे टोटल लाइक 788 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है। तो इंडिया पे इतना भी वैसा डेवलप नहीं हुआ है कि सब डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक ही टाइप का डेवलप हुआ है, कोई अर्बन है तो कोई रूरल है। तो ये भी एक बैरियर बन सकता है कि वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन के लिए। सो विद दिस आई टर्मिनेट माय स्पीच हियर। थैंक यू।
Now we will have Rashmila Basmatari, followed by Rukmini Basmatari.
My name is Rashmila Basmatari. Today I am here to talk about One Nation, One Election. This means holding elections in India at the same time. The idea of simultaneous election is not new to India. In fact, the country have conducted its first 4 general and state election simultaneously from 1951 to 1967. However, this cycle was disrupted due to premature dissolutions of certain state assemblies and the Lok Sabha. So the benefits of One Nation, One Election can be, it will reduce election expenses, as we all know that India spends thousands and crores of money during elections every year. By holding elections together, we can save a lot of money. It will also improve governance. When elections are held frequently, governments are busy campaigning instead of making work for the people. By holding elections together, government can focus on their works. Simultaneous elections can address voter fatigue and enhance participation, as citizens will have fewer instances of election overload. So, to make One Nation, One Election a reality, we need to make some changes to our election laws and processes. We need to make voting easier and more secure. By implementing One Nation, One Election, we can pave the way for a Vikshit Bharat, a developed and prosperous India. We can create a nation where every citizen have access to equality, education, healthcare and economic opportunities. Thank you.
Now we will have Rukmini Basmatari, followed by Somaina Goyari.
Good afternoon everyone, most respected honorable judges, teachers and all my dear friends. So today we are here to speak on about the same topic, that is One Nation, One Election, paving the way for Vikshit Bharat. So, we all dream of developed India, a Vikshit Bharat, where progress is fast, policies are effective and governance is smooth. One major step that can contribute to the vision is the idea of One Nation, One Election, which means holding Lok Sabha, State Assembly and local body elections together once every 5 years. Currently, elections in our country happen throughout the year in different states at different times. This leads to continuous use of government machinery, repeated expenditure, frequent disruptions in governance, and sometimes even delays in policy making due to the model code of conduct. Imagine the amount of energy, money and resources saved if all elections are conducted simultaneously. The Election Commission has estimated that conducting separate election costs thousands and crores each time. With One Nation, One Election, this money could instead be used for development projects, infrastructure, healthcare and education system. This would not only strengthen the economy but also help the government focus on long-term planning rather than the short-term election promises. It would bring political stability and consistency in governments. Leaders will be able to focus more on delivering good governance. Instead of always preparing for the next election, it will reduce unnecessary political drama and ensure the spirit of democracy is protected in a very efficient and responsible manner. In conclusion, I would like to say that these bold ideas have many challenges. Let us all support such progressive reforms that help build a stronger, prosperous India. Thank you.
Now we will have Somaina Goyari, followed by Samdansa Kungur Basmatari.
Good afternoon everyone, my name is Samaina Bayari and I'm currently studying as a second semester student in the Department of Geology. So today our main topic is One Nation and One Election. So first of all, what is One Nation or concept of one election, and for what, why and for whom? So first of all, One Nation and One Election is a proposal or concept of election in India to be held only once a time at a given date or time. So it is for the India, including those for the Lok Sabha State Legislative Assembly, to be held on only once. Why is it important? One nation, one election is important as it is crucial for Indian democratic. And I would like to mention few points why it is important. First of all, economy. It is the top issues when it comes to the election or the season of election. First of all, so much money are spent for the election, and after that when the monies are spent, there comes the greed of the people. The more money you get, the more you want for it. The more you feed, the more you are fed, the more you want. And after that, when everything is done, there come the malpractice or misuse of the power. As a normal girl or citizen that I have been watching and experiencing things during election, I would like to say, when there are malpractice of power, there comes the casualties among people. There are so many fights among the people for election hatred that happen just for an election that is held frequently. And due to the frequently held of election, there are more people frequently hatred among the people. Even between the family members, they are supporting different parties. There is fight between the family. Why is it happening? And when elections are happening, people are forced to vote. They are given money. And people do not have the right choice to vote. If you don't vote, you don't support, you are not of our people. You are outcast from the community. Why is it happening? And after that, when everything is happened, there is come poor governance. Why? Why the people working so hard and like supporting, being treated, who only wants the betterment of our country? Why is it happening? Why our government is only wanting for themselves? Government is for the people, and without people, citizens, there aren't any government. And at last, I would like to conclude, the main motive of one election and one nation and one election is not only about the democratic matter, but it is the freedom of the people, the freedom and the right of the people to vote, for each individual to vote freely and choice of their leader, whom they want to select and whom they want their voice to spread into the world. And within this time period for elections, the government, okay, thank you.
Next we have Samdansa Kungur Basmatari, followed by Jim Narzary.
Good afternoon everyone. I, Sebastian, would like to speak about One Nation, One Election. It is an honor to stand before you all today on the topic gets significance One Nation, One Election. The concept is not just about stimulating or democratic process, but about shaping a more efficient and progressive India. India, the world's largest democracy, holds elections at multiple levels: Lok Sabha, state assemblies,
and local bodies at different times. While this upholds the spirit of democracy, it also comes with challenges: frequent disruption in governance, excessive expenditures, and a continuous political environment that often hampers long-term policy making. The idea of one nation, one election suggests that all elections in India should be held simultaneously. This means voters across the country would elect the representatives at the national and state and local levels on the same day or in a phased manner within a short time frame. Why do we need one nation, one election? Efficiency in governance. Frequent elections leads to improvements of model code of conduct, helping crucial government projects. Holding elections every 5 years will ensure uninterrupted governance and policy interrupting. Cost reduction. Conducting election separately involves enormous financial expenses for the government, political parties, and other stakeholders. A single election will significantly reduce expenditures, improve decision making. With election happening every few months, government are often in campaigns mode rather than focusing on development. Simultaneously, elections will encourage long-term sustainable policy making. Reduction in electoral malpractice. Repeated election increase the chance of vote bank politics, corruption, and communal polarization. A single election cycle can help curb such practice. Increase voter participants. Holding all elections together will create a festival of democracy, encouraging higher voters throughout and better civil engagement. However, implementing one election, one nation comes with the challenges. It requires continuous amendments, political conscience. Thank you.
Now we will have Jim Narzary, followed by Tasmira Parvin.
खुलुमबाय आंनि मुङा Jim Narzary आं क'क्राझार गभर्नमेन्ट कलेजनि सासे स्टुडेन्ट दिनैनि बे डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेभेल युथ पार्लामेन्टआव आंबो सायख'जानायलाय आंबो आंनि बे वान नेशन वान इलेक्शननि सायाव थानाय आंनि सानदांथिखौ नोंथांमोननि गेजेराव फोरमायनो खाबु मोनदों वान नेशन वान इलेक्शना जादों मोनसे बिखान्थि जाय बिखान्थिनि कनसेप्टआ जादों मोनसे थि समाव आरो थि जायगा लानानै गासिबो इलेक्शनखौ सानसे समनि गेजेराव खुंफुंनाय मानोना जों नुनो मोनोदि जोंनि भारत हादराव स्टेट लायै स्टेट जायगा लायै जायगा मोनफा मोनफा फिसा फिसौ लकसभा राज्यसभा एसेम्बलि आरो गोबां दंबावो जायखौ जों साधारन नोगोरारिफ्रा मिथिया नाथाय बोसोरसेयावनो जोंनियाव गोबां इलेक्शन थाङो जायनि खरसा गोबां जायो लेट एग्जाम्पल थांनाय 2024 मायथाइनि लकसभानि बिलआ जादों 16 बिलियन US डलार जायनि एमाउन्टखौ इंडियन रुपिसआव कन्भार्ट खालामबा जों मोनो 1,35 कौटि जाय 2019 मायथाइनि एमाउन्टनिफ्राय 2 गुणानिफ्राय बांसिन मानोना 2019 मायथाइयाव बे एमाउन्टआ 60,000 कौटि रांल'मोन जोङो जेब्ला बे वान नेशन एन्ड वान इलेक्शन बे कनसेप्टखौ बुजिनो हागोन बेखौ बोजबनो हागोन अब्ला जोङो बै इलेक्शनाव थांनाय एक्सपेन्सेसखौ खम खालामनो हागोन आरो बै आद्रा फैसाफोरखौ एबा रांखौ आलदा भारतनि जौगानाय जेरै इडुकेशननि फिल्डआव आबादारिफोरनि आरो मेरला जाय मामलायाव जों बारा रांनि गोनांथि गैया बे वान नेशन वान इलेक्शननि कनसेप्टआ जोंनि भारतआव गोदान नङा थांनाय 1950निफ्राय 67 मायथाइसिमाव बे कनसेप्टआनो सोलिगासिनो दंमोन नाथाय गेजेर खोन्दोआव माखासे हेंथा फैदों जायनि जाउनाव जों बे कनसेप्टखौ सालायलांबाय थानो हायाखै एबा कन्टिनिउ खालामनो हायाखै नाथाय बे कनसेप्टखौ जों एक्सेप्ट खालामनो हायोबा बोजबना लानो हायोबा जों साफ्रोमबो नोगोरारिनि थाखायनो मोजां मानोना बे कनसेप्टआव
मोननैसो डिसएडभान्टेज दंबाबो बेनिखौ बांसिन एडभान्टेजेसा दंखायो जों मिथिखागौ मोजाङाव गाज्रिया थाफाखायो ओंखायनो जों उदां भारत हादरनि साफा साफा नोगोरारि हिसाबै सांग्रां जानांगोन बेनि उननि कनसेप्टखौ बुजिनांगोन आरो बे मानो गोनां बेखौ बुजिनानै जों बे कनसेप्टखौ एचिभ खालामनानै बेजों सोलिलांनो नाजानांगोन जोबनायाव आं बेखौनो बुंनो सानोदि वी आर वन वी आर इन्डियान आं आंनि बुंनांगौखौ एसेखिनि बुंनानैनो नोंथांमोननिफ्राय बिदाय लानोसै आंनि बुंनायाव माबाफोर गोरोन्थि जादोंबा आंखौ निमाहा होदो एसेनोसै गोजोन्थों
Now we will have Tasmira Parveen, followed by Zara Hayat. Serial number of Tasmira Parveen is 84.
नमस्कार आदरणीय विचार मंडली शिक्षकगण और मेरे प्यारे साथियों सभी को मेरा नमस्कार मैं तासमीरा परवीन धुबरी गर्ल्स कॉलेज की सेकेंड सेमेस्टर की छात्रा हूँ आज मैं वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन द पेविंग द वे फॉर विकसित भारत की विषय पर अपना विचार प्रस्तुत करना चाहती हूँ हम सभी जानते हैं कि भारत दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक देश है जिससे जहां हर साल कोई ना कोई चुनाव होते रहते हैं इससे न केवल प्रशासनिक कामकाज रुके रहते हैं बल्कि चुनावी खर्चे बढ़ते रहते हैं एक देश एक चुनाव वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन की असाधारण भारत की चुनावी व्यवस्था को सुधारने और सक्षम बनाने की उद्देश्य से प्रस्तुत की गई है इसका मुख्य विचार यह है कि देश के सभी चुनाव लोकसभा विधानसभा नगर निगम और पंचायत को एक ही समय पर आयोजित किया जाए जिससे राजनीतिक और प्रशासनिक प्रक्रियाओं में स्थिरता आएगी और चुनावी व्यवस्था से जुड़ी हर एक खर्चा कम होगी स्वतंत्रता के बाद 1991 और 1967 तक लोकसभा और विधानसभा के चुनाव एक साथ आयोजित किए गए थे लेकिन 1968 और 1969 में कुछ विधानसभाओं के भंग होने के कारण ये चक्र टूट गया पूर्व राष्ट्रपति रामनाथ कोविंद के अध्यक्षता में गठित समिति ने एक भारत एक चुनाव की सिफारिश की है लेकिन सितंबर 2024 में केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल ने इस सिफारिश को स्वीकार किया है जो चुनाव सुधार की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण कदम है इस प्रणाली के समर्थकों का मानना है कि इसे लागू करने से सरकार और प्रशासन के काम का दबाव कम होगा एक राष्ट्र एक चुनाव के सबसे बड़ा फायदा यह है कि हर चुनाव में जो करोड़ों रुपए खर्च होते हैं उसे घटाया जा सकता है और देश की विकास योजना में लगाया जा सकता है वर्तमान में जो विभिन्न चुनाव अलग अलग समय पर होती है उसके लिए अलग अलग खर्चे होते रहते हैं क्या आपने कभी सोचा है अगर ये सारी चुनाव एक ही साथ एक ही टाइम पे हो तो हम इस खर्च को कम कर सकते हैं और अपने देश के योजनाओं में लगाया जा सकता है इस खर्च को बचाकर हम शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य और रोजगार में ध्यान दे सकते हैं चुनाव में जो पुलिस शिक्षक और सरकारी अफसरों को महीनों तक व्यस्त रखा जाता है वो जनता के भलाई के लिए काम कर सकते हैं जब सरकार को बिना कोई दिक्कत के और बिना कोई रुकावट के 5 साल तक
Now we will have Zara Hayat. She is the last participant of today's competition.
On 17th of December 2024, a bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha, which caused a political battle in India. This is the One Nation, One Election Bill, proposed to synchronize all the elections, the Lok Sabha elections and the state assembly elections, all happening at the same time every 5 years. Good afternoon, judges. My name is Zara Hayat, a student of Kokrajhar Government College. In India, there is always an election happening somewhere or the other. Now, what exactly is the problem with this? Number one, governance disruption. Every time
India enters election mode, it triggers the model code of conduct, which is a set of rules to ensure fair elections. But in this process, it hits the pause button on policy making and critical developmental projects. So no governmental project or scheme can be inaugurated or announced. In 2017, judges, you will be surprised by this data. In 2017, two economists uncovered a startling truth. The governmental and developmental activities were suspended for 7 months. Okay, due to model code of conduct. 3 months nationwide due to a model code of conduct, 3 months nationwide Lok Sabha elections, and 4 months for 4 state elections. Number 2, elections are incredibly expensive. The 2019 Lok Sabha elections alone cost 60,000 crores. The bill becomes enormous for each election. Number 3, administrative hurdles. Every time elections are held, police, teachers, and local officials are pulled away from their duties and schools turn into polling stations. Number 4, politicians are more focused on elections than core governance. In fact, to put into perspective, the government has published an entire paper on how it will boost India's GDP by 1.5% or add about 4.5 lakh crores to our GDP, and also a decrease of inflation by 1%. So you'll be like, it's all good, it's all fairy tales. No, because nothing's smooth in politics. So I would quickly like to discuss the issues with one nation, one election. Number 1, by synchronizing elections could bring efficiency and national unity, but we risk silencing regional voices as a national wave might overshadow local issues. Number 2, simultaneous elections may allow voters to focus on broader priorities like infrastructure, defense, and economic reforms. But critical state-specific problems like farmer distress and water disputes, they might lose attention if national narratives dominate. I see one very big problem under this system. If a state government collapses mid-term, fresh elections will elect a government that serves short-term, which will last only 1 or 2 years. So if Maharashtra government, for example, collapses in 2027, the new government will serve for 2 years. Now you tell me, why would this party in power focus on long-term reforms when they are on a borrowed tenure? So judges, I would like to ask you, would this government focus on performance, or would this simply scramble for political survival? Would this government prioritize long-term reforms that benefit the people, or will they resort to quick fix populism and freebies? This way, the governance becomes about short-term survival. Who really pays the price here? It is undoubtedly the people, the progress, and the very future of the state. This is my argument against one nation, one election bill. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
We have come to the speech competition. I request all the participants to move forward to room number 11 to have lunch. And after that, you are asked to collect the participant certificate from the help desk. Thank you.
Hello. Please be seated. Please be seated for a while. We will end up today's session with a national anthem. Before that, I take this moment to thank our respected jury members for giving their time today. I hope tomorrow also we will be continuing with the same spirit.
be seated.